Hey nerds, it's Michaela back again with another video. Today I'm reviewing a book that has just come out, except I'm not. If you're watching this, a booktube channel, you're probably familiar with John Green, an author and YouTuber who has just released his first nonfiction book, The Anthropocene Reviewed. This book is a collection of about 45 essays rating aspects of the human-centered planet on a 5-star scale, a description I have stolen from his podcast of the same name. I have been a fan of the podcast The Anthropocene Reviewed since its first episode and spent this entire day reading the book. So, in honor of some of my favorite vlogbrothers videos, I'm going to be doing a Thoughts from Places style review from Doak Campbell Stadium, where I work, and where I spent my lunch hour outside, on the itchy grass, under the hot Florida sun, reading this book. But instead of a usual book review, in which I talk about the book, what I liked and didn't like, what it's about, and how it seeks to tell you what it's about, I'm going to talk about me. I don't think John will mind. I first discovered the Vlogbrothers YouTube channel back in the summer of 2011. This was the summer between 10th and 11th grade, exactly halfway through my high school career. I don't know how I discovered them. I didn't know how the YouTube algorithm worked back then, and I sure as shit don't know now. What you have to know about me is I'm a completionist. If there's a way for me to do something wholly, to know it from beginning to end, to be as absorbingly involved as I possibly can be, I will do it. And so I began, sometime in the summer of 2011, to watch this YouTube channel, which began January 1st, 2007, from the very beginning. Please keep in mind that this was a while before I discovered the joys of watching YouTube at double speed, and for all I know, before that feature was even introduced. In the span of just a few weeks, I became the third Green sibling. Get wrecked, Dave Green. Sure, I was only 16 years old and had never even attempted to communicate with either John or Hank, but what else could I think? I caught up with the Vlogbrothers content on the same day that they posted their 1000th video. That much exposure to one voice, or in this case, two voices, in such a short period of time would warp anyone's sense of belonging. I belonged to them, and they belonged to me. We were family. But then I grew up, and so did the Brothers Green. As their media empire expanded, I graduated high school, went to college, met my best friend, kept on adding majors because I couldn't stop studying cool shit that I liked. I stopped feeling like a Green sibling and started feeling something more along the lines of a proud cousin. Look at those Green boys go, making things, being awesome. I'm happy for them. My adolescence and young adulthood have been scored by nerdfighteria. I came to rely on John and Hank's perspectives as much as I would any other mentors. It felt that as their content matured, they were maturing me, speaking to me specifically. I appreciated their guidance. I needed it. I am the adult I am today in no small part to John and Hank, so I guess I'll pause here to say thank you. When I listened to the Anthropocene Reviewed for the first time, I knew once again that John Green was speaking to me. He knew how my brain liked to think of things on scales in relation to one another. He knew how crucial contextualization is to me, how thinking in the abstract gets me nowhere but lost. He spoke with a sense of nostalgia that he took right from my late-night insomnias. It was so personal, and I was so grateful. He made this thing for me, specifically, a semi-regular oral reminder that my perceptions of the world are real, because they are his perceptions too. Of course, none of this is real. John Green does not know that I exist, and that is the way things should be. John Green did not write any of his books, nor any of his starred reviews of the Anthropocene for me, or, I think, for anyone in particular. Like all artists, John can only make art that reflects his own lived experiences, and if any of mine happen to coincide with his, then I guess that says more about the nature of being a human during the Anthropocene than it says about John or me or the art that connects us. But I'm not going to stop feeling so cared for by this type of writing. I'm not going to stop feeling seen or heard or loved by it. One of my favorite feelings in the world is feeling small, like I'm shrinking tighter and tighter in on myself until I'm actually not here, I'm everywhere, or maybe I'm nowhere. I get that some people might find that anxiety-inducing or a product of anxiety, but for me, it's a comfort. It's the certainty that others have been here before, and others will be here long after, and I'm just another one of us, silly, superfluous, persistent humans. That is how this book made me feel. It was not made for me, specifically, except, of course, it was. I give the Anthropocene Reviewed by John Green 5 stars.